In this video, we're going to learn another method of solving systems of equations. So far, we have learned how to solve systems of equations via graphing. Actually, I'm going to number this. By graphing, we have learned how to solve systems of equations by graphing. Now, the next thing we are going to learn today is substitution. That is another way you can solve systems of equations. A third way you can solve systems of equations is elimination, which we will talk about in a few weeks. But today we're going to be covering the substitution method. Okay, so this is week 33 notes. The method of substitution really is founded or based upon this idea that if, and please write this down, if A equals, then now this is logic here, if A equals B and B equals C, then, or therefore, A must equal C. Okay, so this is the logic that is called or known as the transitive property. Okay, very simply, it's the transitive property of just within logic. Okay, so why is this true? Well, it's true because I'm going to say since A equals B and B also equals C. So you can see that we have A equals B, which equals C. That means that you can, what is known as, eliminate the middleman right here. And that therefore means, and that's a symbol for therefore, A must equal C. So this is eliminating the middleman, and that's what you'll see in some of these examples here. Now, let me pull up an example real quick so you can follow along. We're just going to be doing number 1 here, okay, in the classwork. So you can see here that y equals 3x plus 9 and y also equals negative 3x minus 15. So according to the transitive property, and I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, that would mean that if this was A right here, if this stood for A, oops, sorry, and then Y kind of stood for B, right? Right, that was B. And then this all over here stood for C, this value right here, kind of trying to superimpose the transitive property over this. Well, we can see that A, in this problem anyway, A equals B, and you can see that B equals C. Why was I calling Y the B? Well, it's the same thing. It's some value, okay? So therefore, there's another symbol for therefore, 3 dots. Therefore, A equals C. So that means that this value must equal this value. So what we can do here is essentially substitute in this negative 3x minus 15 for y right here, okay? So yes, I mean, I could write y equals 3x plus 9, but because of this fact, I can substitute in a negative 3x minus 15 for y, because y equals both of them. Therefore, what we're going to do is we're going to eliminate the middleman, just like we did back over here, okay? And just simply set this negative 3x minus 15 equal to the 3x plus 9. So Now we have an equation, just a multi-step equation that we can easily solve for x in. Okay? So here we go. We're going to move the x's to one side. And we've got negative 15 equals, and then this will cancel, 6x plus 9. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it. So I'm just going to copy it and paste it up here. And then continue. Then we're going to subtract 9 from both sides. Negative 15 minus 9 is a negative 24 equals 6x. That cancels out. And then we're going to divide both sides by 6. And our x is going to be negative 4. Or negative 4, x equals negative 4, if you just wrote it like that. Well, that's great. Because if x equals negative 4, all we have to do, once we solve that equation, is plug x back into either one of these equations to find y. Remember, solving a system of equations involves finding two variables, not just one. So what we do to find x is we set one equation equal to the other, y, because y is equal to both of them. Then once we find that variable right here, we simply plug it back into the equation. So we're going to plug in negative 4 right over here, right in there for x. Actually, right in there for x. We're going to plug in negative 4 right there. And I'm going to sub that in right here. So y equals, actually I don't want to encroach on the other problem there. Y equals 3 times negative 4, that's where the x was, plus 9. Now all we need to do is solve this and we've got y. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12 plus the 9 equals a negative 3. So y equals negative 3. So you can figure out how to solve systems of equations just like that. Substitution.